October 21st, 2021, police respond to a shooting at a San Diego high-rise apartment building. 28-year-old Anna Abulaban and her friend Rayburn Ray Barron were killed. Her estranged husband, 29-year-old Ali Abulaban, was placed under arrest.
Detectives say video shows Ali going to his estranged wife's apartment, followed by the sound of 6 gunshots.
Ali Abulaban was a rising social media star with more than 1 million followers on TikTok and Instagram. Many of his posts featured his impression of Al Pacino in Scarface.
Can you please say hello to my little friend? Okay, I play with you. Do I play with? Okay. Say hello to my little friend.
His wife Anna was often featured in his posts.
Scarface was.
Okay. I you, man. I want you to be the love of my life.
The Abulabans had recently moved to San Diego from Virginia, so Ali could advance his career.
Once they moved here, her social life flourished, but then he messed it up. And Anna was going out on her own, and that's when he really lost his mind.
Ali's cousin said the couple had separated, and Ali had moved out of the apartment.
I said, what are you going to do? You're living in a motel now. Like, what are you going to do? What are your plans? He goes, oh, me and Anna, we're still together. She's just trying to make me suffer a little bit.
Prosecutors say Anna had changed the locks, but Ali managed to get into the apartment. He put a listening app on his daughter's iPad and was spying on his wife. In a jail interview with KSWB, Ali described the day he came upon his estranged wife with another man.
I see her kissing Ray on my couch with his feet on my table. I'm getting my couch and my wife in the house and my daughter sleeping and on the furniture that I put together. How do you expect a man to feel?
According to the medical examiner, Anna and Ray were each shot in the face at close range. Ali broke down during the preliminary hearing when the autopsy photos were shown. His defense team says the incident happened in a heat of passion, but prosecutors say it was premeditated.
You think I wanted this? Or I found your daughter? I wanted this? Who the are you?
Mr. Mr. Abulaban, I need you to stop.
My life is destroyed.
Mr. Abulaban, I need you to stop.
Ali Abulaban has pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of first-degree murder. If he's convicted, he could be sentenced to life in prison.
Should be a good one. Welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Michael Ayala, turning now to California, where the defense has begun their case in chief in the trial for a TikTok star accused of shooting and killing his wife and her friend. The prosecutors say that Ali Abulaban shot and killed his wife, Anna, and her boyfriend. Well, I'm going to call her a boyfriend. They were kissing and stuff. Rayburn Barron, after months of relationship turmoil. Now, the defense has not denied that Abulaban was the shooter, but instead points to his mental illness and addiction issues. It's also expected that he'll take the stand in his own defense as soon as tomorrow. Now, during the state's case, victim Anna Abulaban's best friend, Julia Stuntz, testified Anna had mentioned instances of Ali's abuse months before her death.
When Anna was living in San Diego, when did she start telling you about violence by the defendant?
She didn't tell me anything right away until one day she asked me if she could come stay with me, and or come pick her up, or let's take the girls to the park. She said, let's take the girls to the park. I said, sure. And she comes up to my apartment at the time, and it was her, Louie, Shireen, and Amira, and I meet them, and they had all their bags packed. And I'm like, what's going on? She's like, let's just take the girls to the park first. I'm sure she didn't want to have that conversation in front of our daughters. And so we went to a park. She had been wearing a cap and shades. And we let the girls play, and she sat next to me, and she took her shades off. And I look at her, and she's bruised from her left side of her face, from her eye down to her lip. And I told her, what happened? What happened? And she said that her and Ollie were laying in bed, and they got into an argument, and he got on top of her, and he just hitting her and kept hitting until Shireen came in and pulled him off of her. And Shireen was about to call the police, and Anna begged her, please don't call the police, please don't call the police. And then I asked her, why didn't you tell me right away? And she said, I was in shock. I didn't know what to do. I laid on the couch. I was depressed. I laid on the couch. I don't know what to do. I don't want to tell anybody. Like, look at my face. And then she goes, but today I left because he came in and he grabbed me and Amira's clothes from the laundry basket and spread them all over the living room. And he goes, look at my wife, doesn't clean the house, doesn't do the laundry. And she was like, that was the last straw, I have to get out of there. And so then that's when she called me to see if I would come meet her to go to the park.
All right, on the stand today was the defendant's mother, who told the court that he called her right after the shooting before calling the police on himself.
You were aware that Anna and Ali were having difficulties in San Diego.
Yeah.
And you've always been close with Ali?
Close with Ali, close with Anna, absolutely.
And would you speak to both of them about things that were happening in their marriage?
Yes, absolutely.
And would each of them, would Ali tell you problems that they were having?
Yes.
And would Anna tell you problems that they were having?
Absolutely.
And you were aware of pretty serious drug abuse?
I found that out, yes.
At some point, you were aware that, or were you aware that Anna was maybe staying with friends? They were kind of in and out of the apartment?
Yes.
And then on October 21st, you received a phone call from Ali, is that right?
Yes.
And he called you after the shooting happened, is that correct?
Yes.
Do you recall talking to him on the phone?
I just recall saying, that's not funny. That's not funny, Ali. Don't say that. That's not funny. And then I received the picture. I looked and I deleted it right away. And I hung up the phone and I literally fell on the ground.
When you say you were telling him that's not funny, was that in response to him telling you what had happened?
Yeah, before he sent the picture.
When you say the picture, you're referring to a photo of Anna and Rayburn Barron on the couch.
Yes. I immediately deleted it.
After you were on the phone with Ali when he told you what had happened, did you talk to him again after he sent you the picture?
I only recall telling him, where's Amira? Where's Amira? Please leave Amira at school. Don't pick her up, because I was afraid if he picked her up, he would drive crazy and something would happen. And I believe he said, no, Mom, I called the cops on myself.
All right, still with us to discuss trial attorneys Jesse Lyle and C.K. Hoffler. C.K., let me start with you. We got you back. Thanks for coming back with us and getting us together here. This is an interesting one because it really, for me, follows a very familiar pattern. And the defense has a really tough hill to climb here because it was a situation where there was abuse, there was controlling behavior, there were threats. When she decides to leave, that's when things escalate. As a matter of fact, 6 days before, they were supposed to meet at a courthouse. It didn't happen, but they were going forward, or she was going forward with the divorce, and then something like this happens. Your thoughts on this one?
I think it's going to be a very, very difficult case for the defense. It's really almost indefensible. Of course, everybody's entitled to a defense. I think that because the mother is here testifying, he did turn himself in, and I think that will give him some points. However, he admits to committing these heinous crimes. They are passion-driven. They are fueled by his anger, by his drug use. But he was fully cognizant of what he was doing. And in fact, he called his mother and told her what he did. So I think on some level, even though he might have been, he may have had drug use and that may have impacted his behavior, he was cognizant of what he had done. He knew he had killed her. He knew he had killed the other gentleman. And so I think that is what's going to stick in the minds of a jury and count against him.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And what I think is going to stick in their minds is that what he did, Jesse, he put an app on his daughter's iPad, which allowed him to listen in on what was going on. So he had been listening in, knew the guy was there. That's why he went over there. I don't know how you get around that when we're talking about a crime regarding the mens rea. What was going on in his mind? Premeditated or crime of passion?
In domestic violence cases, when you have such a dominant male role model and he is all about power, I want power over my home, over my children, over my wife, installing these tracking apps is very, very common. And they do that whether they have planned just to stalk and terrorize their partner or whether they really intend to kill them. That's the problem that the state has in this case. Putting a stalking app is very common in a lot of domestic violence cases where individuals are separated. I think the state has a problem when trying to prove premeditated crime. They have to prove that not only in addition to stalking, that this man had already planned that if he finds his wife with another man in their apartment, in their children's home, with the children, with his money, his furniture, that he already plans to kill not only his wife, but his boyfriend. That's a tough call, because if we talk about second-degree murder or voluntary manslaughter, what's the most common example we use? Oh, a man walks into the room and he finds his wife in bed with another guy. That's typical of second-degree or heat or passion murder.
If he just found him. He had this app on specifically to keep track of what was going on. And that's when he goes over there.
And his anger and his passion is building up, is fueling it until he gets there and sees her kissing him. And he decides to shoot. I mean, that's a really tough one.
Counselor, I hear you. All right, CK, quickly, they do plan to have him take the stand. It was mentioned in opening statements that he will. He's a TikTok guy. He's very popular. He seems to be a performer, pretty good one at that. He had a lot of followers. Do you think it's a good idea?
Bad idea. He's very volatile, he's very susceptible, he's very unreliable, and he's in a state, he's been incarcerated, so he's in quite a state. I think it would be a bad idea because it's going to allow them to open up the door and cross-examine him on so many other things, and he's not going to fare well, in my impression.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if he unleashes the crazy on the stand, that's the end of everything.
That's
so
right.
Hopefully he'll be able to keep it together and tell his story. That's really his only shot, maybe, all right?